Welcome to the second installment on the Bridgewater Triangle and its mysteries. In the previous video, we discussed the different ghostly apparitions said to wander around the area. On this occasion, we will describe another common phenomenon on the triangle, UFO activity. There's been many reports of UFO sightings and strange occurrences associated with unusual lights in the sky throughout the years in the Bridgewater Triangle area. Nobody has been able to explain the relationship, if any, between these phenomena and the ghostly activity reported in the zone. Next, we will tell you about the most iconic and disturbing UFO sightings, some of which involve cattle mutilation and go back to the late 60s. In 1968, two police officers, Herbert Spare and John Rhea, were on patrol in the early hours of the morning near the Hockomock Swamp, which is part of the Bridgewater Triangle. At around 2 a.m., they reported seeing a strange object in the sky that appeared to be following them. The object emitted a bright light that illuminated the surrounding area, and it seemed to be moving in an erratic pattern. The officers then drove to the nearby town of Easton, where they reported the incident to their superiors. The story soon made its way to the local news, and it became one of the most well-known UFO sightings in Massachusetts. The incident was investigated by several different organizations, including the Air Force, who ultimately concluded that the object was likely a weather balloon. However, many people remain skeptical of this explanation and believe that the officers truly saw something unexplainable in the sky that night. Herbert Spare and John Rhea were both interviewed about the incident, and their story remained consistent throughout the years. They both passed away in the 1990s, but their accounts of the sighting remain a significant part of the lore surrounding the Bridgewater Triangle. During the 1970s, several sightings of strange objects in the sky were reported in the town of Rehoboth, which is located near the western edge of the Bridgewater Triangle. These sightings often were associated with the finding of mutilated cattle the following day, and had multiple witnesses, including police officers and other reputable individuals. During this time, a local man, Leonard Bellinger, claimed that he was abducted by extraterrestrial beings multiple times in his life, and his stories became well known in the area of the Bridgewater Triangle. According to Leonard, he was first abducted in 1967 while he was out hunting in the Freetown State Forest. He claimed that he saw a bright light in the sky, and suddenly he found himself inside a strange craft. Leonard said that the beings were humanoid, with large, black eyes, and they performed medical experiments on him. In 1976, Leonard claimed to have had another abduction experience, this time in his own backyard. He reported seeing a bright light in the sky and suddenly found himself inside a strange room. He said that the beings were the same as the ones in his previous abduction, and they told him that they had been responsible for the cattle mutilations in the area. Leonard's claims were met with skepticism by some, but he maintained that they were true. He underwent hypnosis to try to remember more details about his abductions, but I couldn't find any footage of this or any information regarding its results. However, there was one particularly disturbing incident involving the mutilation of cattle in the area and linked with Leonard. In the fall of 1979, several cows were found dead on a farm in Rehoboth, with their internal organs and reproductive organs removed with surgical precision, leaving no trace of blood or struggle. The mutilations were so precise and inexplicable that they caused widespread alarm in the community. On the night of January 17, 1979, Leonard Bellinger and his wife Gloria were driving along Route 44 near their home when they saw a strange, glowing object in a field. According to their account, the object was about 8 feet in diameter and was hovering just a few feet off the ground. As they approached the object, they saw a group of strange beings standing around it. The beings were described as about 4 feet tall, with grayish-brown skin and large, glowing eyes. They appeared to be wearing tight-fitting metallic suits. The Belanger were frightened and quickly drove away, but they reported the incident to the police the next day. When investigators arrived at the site, they discovered that several cows had been mutilated in the area. The animals' ears had been removed with surgical precision, and there were no signs of predators or human intervention. News of the incident quickly spread, and it became one of the most famous cases of cattle mutilation ever reported. The incident was investigated by several agencies, including the Massachusetts State Police and the FBI, but no conclusive explanation was ever found. The incident had a profound impact on the Bellinger family, who reported continued sightings of strange lights and objects in the sky around their home. For more than a decade, UFO activity would cease in the Bridgewater Triangle. However, in 1994, multiple witnesses reported seeing a large triangular craft hovering over Hockomock Swamp. The sightings occurred on the evening of August 5th, and witnesses included on-duty police officers and other individuals in the area. Officer John A. Baer of the Rehoboth Police Department was on patrol near Route 44 when he saw the craft hovering above the swamp. He described it as a large, silent, black triangle with red and white lights on each corner. He called for backup and several other officers arrived on the scene. They also witnessed the craft, and attempted to pursue it as it moved away. However, it quickly disappeared from their view. Other witnesses in the area reported seeing a similar craft around the same time. One witness, named Thomas Reed, claimed to have seen the craft up close and described it as being the size of a football field. He also reported seeing strange beings near the craft. The witnesses reported that the triangular craft was silent and had a large, bright light in the center. It was described as being approximately 200 to 300 feet in length, and it hovered about 100 to 200 feet above the ground. The craft was seen by many people over the course of several hours. The sighting was extensively investigated by the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, and was featured in the television show Unsolved Mysteries. It remains one of the most well-known and well-documented UFO sightings in the Bridgewater Triangle. MUFON's investigation of the sighting concluded that it was an unknown aerial phenomenon and could not be explained by conventional means. There are many places in the world that are considered haunted or a hot spot for UFO activity. However, it's very strange to find a place that is both of these and holds even more unexplained occurrences. Besides, the fact that such a large area manifests unexplainable, paranormal and alien phenomena is very unusual. This has led many to think that there's something bigger going on in the area that relates all of these events. In the next video on the Bridgewater Triangle, we will analyze and delve into some theories on the bigger picture that could explain these ongoing strange events. We will also investigate a third kind of unexplained phenomenon that has been reported in the area, Bigfoot sightings. And that concludes our second installment on the Bridgewater Triangle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and remember to subscribe and activate the bell so you can be notified when we upload new content. Thanks for watching.